What it do, listeners? That was lame. Welcome to episode number 29 of the Brainiac Trivia Top 10 in 10. I'm John Boyce, the primary writer, owner, and host of the Brainiac Trivia League. Right here in Middle Tennessee, I asked 128 questions the week of January 30th, and what follows are my favorite 10 in 10 minutes or less. Let's go!
Number 10.
Geography kicking us off in episode 29. The answer starts with the letter A. Don't say I didn't ever do anything for you. What two separate cities share the same name, with one being the home of a longtime golf tournament and the other being the capital of the state? The answer starts with the letter A. What two separate cities share the same name, with one being the home of a longtime golf tournament and the other being the capital of the state? Not too terribly difficult on this one. Augusta. Of course, Augusta, Georgia, the home of the Masters, and Augusta is the capital of Maine.
Number 9.
Entertainment on this one. Born in 1964, Cedric Kyles is an actor, comedian, and producer, better known by what name? Born in 1964, Cedric Kyles is an actor, comedian, and producer, better known by what name? Yeah, I don't think this question is too difficult. I put this in for one very specific reason. Cedric Kyles, better known as Cedric the Entertainer. When I asked that question, there was a younger team in on the game that evening. She had no clue who Cedric the Entertainer was, so I took it amongst myself to educate you.
Number 8.
Food and beverage. Let's eat and drink. What was the first Heinz product ever produced? I'm going to give you a hint on this one. It is not ketchup or mustard. What was the first Heinz product ever produced? It's not ketchup or mustard. So not ketchup, not mustard. The first product that Heinz produced, horseradish.
Number 7.
Clues and clips on this one. I'm going to give you a clue as well as an audio clip. You got to tell me what movie it is. Released in the 1970s and taking place in the 60s, this film was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, winning 5. Starring one of the most revered actors of all time, the film is now preserved in the National Film Registry. The title of the film comes from a nursery rhyme read to one of the characters by his grandmother mentioned in the book of which the film is based. Released in the 70s, taking place in the 60s, this film was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, winning 5. Starring one of the most revered actors of all time, the film is now preserved in the National Film Registry. The title of the film comes from a nursery rhyme read to one of the characters by his grandmother mentioned in the book of which the film is based.
The business of this meeting, Mr. Cheswick, is therapy.
Well, you know, I don't understand this, Miss Ratchet, because I know Mr. McMurphy, he said something yesterday about a World Series, a baseball game. You know, and I've never been to a baseball game, and, well, I think I'd like to see one. And that'd be good therapy, too, wouldn't it, Miss Ratchet?
Yeah, from 1975, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson, of course, the actor mentioned there in the clue. Phenomenal movie if you haven't ever seen it.
Number 6.
So I don't think I've ever put one of these in the podcast, so I'm going to have to explain it a little bit. We have bonus questions in every game, 2 of them actually, and it's a closest team or a closest without going over situation. I won't bore you with all the details, but so you know, this is a closest team. So I'm going to ask a question that is about a percentage, and you just want to see how close you can get to answering it correctly. In the hours after the Super Bowl, inside the home state of the losing team, percentage-wise, approximately how much do automobile accidents increase? In the hours after the Super Bowl, inside the home state of the losing team, percentage-wise, approximately how much do automobile accidents increase? So people being drunk and probably a little pissed off after the Super Bowl. Inside the state of the team that lost, automobile accidents increased by 68%.
Number 5.
Technology. Who was the very first U.S. president to send an email? Now, I will clarify because so often people are like, well, John, do you mean as president or just at all? Maybe he sent one before he was president. Yeah, so as president, who was the first U.S. president to send an email? Now, this is a little surprising. I believe he only sent one. Bill Clinton, the first president to send an email.
Number 4.
Miscellaneous is probably one of my favorite categories. I feel like I say that a lot. Maybe I should just stop saying that. The Ford Model T was the first car to sell 10 million and 15 million cars. However, it was not the first to sell 20 million. What make and model car was the first to sell 20 million cars? So once again, helping you out a little bit on this one as well. The Ford Model T was the first car to sell 10 million and 15 million cars, but not the first to sell 20 million. What make and model car was the first to sell 20 million? Yeah, the first car to ever sell 20 million, the Volkswagen Beetle. I'm not sure if it's like this everywhere, but in the South, it was very common to call it a punch bug. And whenever you would see one, if you were riding with one of your siblings or something, they would punch you. My sister, Sissy, as we affectionately call her, I'm pretty sure I still got some raspberries on my right shoulder from that.
Number 3.
Fact or crap? So a 50-50 shot here in the top 3. Dr. Henry Heimlich, the man that invented the Heimlich maneuver, choked to death in his nursing home. Fact or crap? Boy, that's morbid. Dr. Henry Heimlich, the man that invented the Heimlich maneuver, choked to death in his nursing home. Is that a fact or is that crap? Yeah, it's crap. He actually died of a heart attack in his nursing home, but he made it to 96 years old.
Number 2.
I want to throw another curveball at you on this one. This is called 3 of a kind, another category that typically is not in the podcast because it doesn't translate as well, but I found it very interesting. So basically, ask a question that has 3 correct answers. It can also have 4 or 5 answers. This one particularly has more than 3 correct answers, but you're only supposed to give me 3 of the answers. There's a whole point system involved. I won't bore you with that. So here we go. Let's give this a shot. John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed, was an American pioneer who introduced apple trees to large parts of 5 U.S. states. Name 3. So once again, John Chapman, you know him better as Johnny Appleseed, was an American pioneer who introduced apple trees to large parts of 5 U.S. states. For our purposes here, let's just say name as many of the 5 as you can. John Chapman, you know him as Johnny Appleseed. He brought apple trees to large parts of 5 U.S. states. That would be Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and West Virginia. I'm a Granny Smith apple guy myself.
Number 1.
Number 1, my favorite question of the week coming from Health and Medical. I really don't think this is a tough question, and I think most of you will get it right, but I thought it was very interesting, and so if you don't know it, I'm hoping maybe I can give you some information here you'll find interesting. So from Health and Medical, doctors and scientists have concluded that all people with what color eyes share a common ancestor. Doctors and scientists have concluded that all people with what eye color share a common ancestor. So doctors and scientists have concluded that all people with blue eyes share a common ancestor. So a team at the University of Copenhagen tracked down a genetic mutation that took place around 6,000 to 10,000 years ago and is the cause of the eye color of all blue-eyed humans alive on the planet today. Dug a little deeper on this one. The mutation of brown eyes to blue represents neither a positive nor a negative mutation. It is one of several mutations such as hair color, baldness, freckles, beauty spots, other things of that nature. It doesn't increase or reduce a human's chance of survival. It simply shows that nature's constantly shuffling the human genome, creating a genetic cocktail of human chromosomes, and trying out different changes as it does so. Hey guys, if you want to be a supporter of the podcast, click on the link in the bio. Nothing expected. Everything is appreciated. Trivia, of course, is more fun in person. Check out our social media to find a game near you. I also host lots of private games. Head on over to Brainiac Trivia on your social media platform. Honestly, it's Facebook or Instagram. There's too many platforms for me to keep up with, so I just stick to those two. So hopefully you're on one of those. Regardless, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Boyce, and this has been the Brainiac Trivia Top 10 in 10.